Hello, I'm Ken Cole, General Manager of Farming Smarter. Welcome to this episode of Plot Shots. Today we're going to talk about quinoa. This is quinoa behind me, probably the prettiest quinoa I've ever seen, to be honest with you. One thing that we like to do at Farming Smarter is to play around with novel crops. There was a novel crop program with the Southern Applied Research Association before I even started. So the idea is we get to try out new crops, see if they can be adapted to our environment, and hopefully provide some new profitable opportunities for farmers. A lot of the crops that we've tried over time are things like winter peas, winter lentils. We did Brassica carinata, which is the Ethiopian mustard used for jet fuels, camelina. Now we're on to hemp and quinoa. So quinoa is obviously a very popular ancient grain. They're touting it as. It's popular with folks in the healthy foods type things. So there's growing popularity. It's not the actually easiest crop to grow though. There's no real herbicide options for one. As you can see, the plant looks a lot like lamb's quarters, a common weed that we have in southern Alberta. And it is actually a very close relative to that weed. However, so in this case, just good crop competition. As long as we can control the weeds with a pre-seed burn down ahead of time and get a good healthy crop up in place, then you can actually have a nice crop. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of insect problems that we're trying to work out, and that's part of what this study is trying to figure out how we can manage the insect problems. So there's actually, I'm not even sure what it's called, but it's sort of like a wheat stem sawfly where it lays an egg inside of the stem and then it eats up and down the stem, obviously restricting flow of nutrients and waters and causes problems. Lygus is also a common issue, so we're watching these plots quite carefully and trying to figure out how to grow them the best as possible. I also talked about our crop sequencing study in one of the last episodes, and quinoa is one of those crops in that sequence. So in our crop sequencing study, we found pretty quickly that growing it after canola isn't a great idea because of the amount of volunteers that you have to deal with. So I'd probably grow quinoa after wheat and make sure that you do a good, decent seeding rate to ensure that crop competition will prevail. Otherwise, we have successfully harvested some grain. There's a few farmers around that are trying it out. Nice to have a nice profitable option. It's hard to grow, and sometimes that actually makes a really good economical crop because not everybody wants to grow it. So here's your introduction to quinoa, and I hope you have a successful season, and we'll see you next time.